An unusual encounter takes place between a horse and a group of wild wolves right in the middle of a path, resulting in a surprising reaction. The question that arises is, what happens when a horse comes face to face with 6 wild wolves? This situation can easily evoke feelings of apprehension and concern, but fortunately, reality isn't as frightening as imagination might suggest. A video documenting this exact scenario was captured by a nature photographer in the Abruzzo region of Italy. In it, you can see 6 wolves encircling a lone horse. While it's natural for the wolves to be interested in the horse, the outcome is less predictable. Despite the size advantage the horse might have, the cooperation of the wolves showcases their ability to overcome this disparity and bring down the potential prey. However, the horse doesn't appear to be scared in the slightest. Suddenly, it sits down in the snow and begins rolling in front of the wolves. The photographer, probably convinced that a fight is about to begin, yells "No" from behind the camera. Of course, with the horse seemingly defenseless, this would be the perfect moment for the wolves to attempt an attack. Strangely, they remain still, surprised, and watch. They don't seem interested in attacking. Jonas Wallström, an animal expert from Sweden, analyzed the incident involving the Italian wolves. He shared his perspective with the Swedish press, Aftonbladet, noting that the situation would have played out differently if it had occurred in Sweden. If this had happened in Sweden, the wolves would have reacted differently. A horse is roughly the same size as a moose, and therefore, the wolves would have sought to attack it without hesitation. A moose in Sweden would, obviously, try to flee. It certainly wouldn't lie down next to the wolves, Wallström stated. He goes on to explain that the wolves in Italy might have different behaviors towards horses, possibly because they aren't accustomed to viewing them as potential prey. This lack of familiarity with the dynamics between wolves and horses could have influenced the observed outcome in the video. Wallström concludes that the difference in reactions between the Italian wolves and the Swedish wolves is partly due to different historical interactions and the presence of other natural predators in each region. The footage takes place in Italy, implying that horses in this region are not familiar with the presence of wolves as predators, at least not as an imminent threat. Similarly, Italian wolves lack experience in pursuing large prey, unlike their counterparts in the Värmland region of Sweden. They typically target smaller prey for sustenance, such as hares, and occasionally a dog or 2. Within this information, we find a plausible explanation. The wolves simply lack the instinctual knowledge that they are capable of hunting a horse, just as the horse doesn't recognize the potential threat posed by the wolves. As a result, they might coexist to a certain extent without conflict. This unusual scenario is enabled by the lack of a history of predatory interactions between these species in that specific region.